Jules, fourth installment. Let's talk grudges. That's a persistent feeling of ill will or resentment resulting from past insult or injury. Listen, let's stop talking about self-care. Let's stop talking about healing and therapy if you refuse to let go of a grudge. You know you fronting because you drink like a fish trying to mask the hurt. I should know, I used to do it. Walking around with that persistent feeling of resentment, that shit eats you up. You can only get so drunk. You can only get so high. You can only so much. That grudge will still be there, I promise. I know it ain't easy, but trust me. Letting go of a grudge don't necessarily mean you're all buddy-buddy with the culprit. It don't do that. Letting go of a grudge is like forgiveness. It's not necessarily for them, but it's most definitely for you, us. Maybe you ain't ready right now. That's cool. It's a process. I carry some resentment as well. Some resentment toward my pop, my father. I'm letting that shit go. I'm letting it go. And if you know what my story is as it pertains to my father, or was, don't mean that it's easy. Don't mean that you forget. You shouldn't forget. You shouldn't. Because, hey, once again, that story could inspire somebody. Could be just what they needed. A grudge is baggage. And listen, for all intents and purposes, right? These lyrics are co-ed. These lyrics are for men and women, boys and girls, young and old. If you know the words, go ahead and sing them along with me, because I ain't singing them. Bag lady, you gonna hurt your back. Dragging all them bags like that. I guess nobody ever told you all you must hold on to is you. One day, all them bags gonna get in your way. So pack light. Again, interchangeable, men and women. Bag lady, you gonna miss your bus. You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. When they see you coming, niggas take off running from you. Yeah, it's true. Oh, yes, they do. One day, he gonna say, you're crowding my space. So pack light. Girl, I know sometimes it's hard and we can't let go. Ooh, when someone hurts you oh so bad inside, you can't deny it. You can't stop crying. So drop them heavy ass bags. Pack light. That don't mean that you don't fail at it. That don't mean that you're perfect. You know what I'm saying? But if you a Muslim and you all up in folks' face talking about, yo, brother, yo, sister, don't eat the swine. And you in the Waffle House eating ham with a pink toe. Or, here's an idea. Do what you want to do, but listen, at least be practicing what you preach. Because it don't make you perfect, but at least be trying. You understand? Because some of you are just talking. I tell kids damn near all the time that most adults are full of it.
Right. Truth be told, most adults are full of it. That's the truth. I'm not saying go home and say, you know what, Ma? You're full of crap. Okay? You're full of it, and I'm tired of it, Ma. No, I'm not saying that. Always respect your parents.
That's an instant death wish.
Yeah, it's good that you know that. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying this so that you can think and observe and watch adults. A lot of adults are full of it. I know this because I too was course, I was a kid too, right? Duh, I wasn't born grown. Like when you hear an adult say something, like just be like, okay, all right. And then from that moment, I mean, I don't care if it's like multiple adults, like taking account of what each of them say that they're about. And then every time you're around them, pay attention to them. Don't say nothing. One of the biggest things I want you to do is just think. Everybody's trying to sway you in some direction. I am too, but I'm just trying to sway you to think. Like, use your mind. Think. When adults say something, after they say it, or they claim to be this, or claim to be that, or claim to be about this and about that, pay attention to them. How they carry themselves, stuff they talk about. Don't be all obvious. A lot of people are just blowing smoke up your behinds, unfortunately.
Wow.
Politicians do it. And yeah, parents do it too.
I just never heard that expression before.
What? Oh, blowing smoke? Well, yeah, blowing smoke is just another way of... They're not really telling you nothing. They think you're stupid. You know what I mean? Adults swear up and down that kids didn't see what they saw. You know what I mean? They swear up and down kids, or they figure since you did see it, he too young, he don't know what's going on. Yeah, but you do. Mm-hmm. They said something,
But they did something.
and it was like, but you know what I mean? Like, and they're trying to front it off like it's because they think that you don't get it, that you don't understand, but you saw it. Oh yeah, you saw it. You saw it. You smelt it. Everything. With that, there's going to be things that you're going to want to do in life. And like, you might just one day want to stand up for a cause. You know what I mean? You play basketball, so you might one day want to stand up because you feel like black boys aren't getting whatever in terms of basketball. And there's always going to be some old fool standing there to tell you to shut up and sit down. And an old fool will tell you that because when they was your age, or your age, they was too scared to stand up. When it was their time to be active, they was too afraid.
Listen, some of you are saying things like, hey, stay woke, or you got to open up your mind. But then you got a Christmas tree in your living room every year. Some of you are claiming to be militant, but your voice get mad soft when white folk walk in the room. Some of you claiming to be for the people, and you scamming the people, like Brother Polite. He blocked me now, though. He blocked me. I was in the comments chopping it up with all the other folk. Yo, they be asking like, yo, hey, can somebody from the team reach out to me and give me an update? And I'll be right there reading. Like, oh, I let them know right then and there, hey, you been scammed, fam. Ain't nobody gonna tell you nothing. Nobody's gonna give you an update, nothing. I did that quite a few times. I guess he caught on, you know what I'm saying, and he blocked me. Cause I'll be in there letting them know. You been scammed, brother. You got scammed. Some of you claiming to be a thug, but then you're scared to go to jail. I said something in my last podcast, right? I said that I was never a thug, but I was a roughneck. Because a thug to me is an individual who don't care about going to jail. And I ain't just talking about like a weekend or a month. I'm talking like you ain't scared to do 2 to 3 years at a time. You know what I'm saying? Get out, do something stupid, and then end up getting 5 more years. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for them to be confined to a cell with men. You know what I'm saying? Nope. Unless it's from a guard. That's a thug to me. And that was never me. And that ain't a lot of y'all. If that's you and you scared to go to jail, then you ain't a thug. You're not a thug to me. Practice what you preach in relationships too. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what you buy each other. Brother, you could buy your queen every expensive bag that you can afford, and it don't matter. Sister, you could buy your king every dope watch, every smooth, dope-looking watch that you can afford. You understand? But listen, if the two of you can't talk to each other, it's a shitty relationship. But you're on social media and other platforms giving relationship advice. And everybody's got issues, sure. Just practice what you preach. Disclaimer. This and anything I've ever spoken on in these pods are from personal experience. There. A lot of us adults have lingering issues that stem from our childhood. So since we didn't get certain things that we wanted, and in a lot of cases needed, since we didn't get to do certain things, etc., we end up being suckers as parents. Because we become hell-bent on giving our kids the childhood that we didn't have. We didn't have the hottest sneakers, so we bought or buy our kids sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Expensive sneakers. Meanwhile, they fresher than a pack of socks. But they disrespectful to you and the teachers. Some of you have allowed your underage kids to smoke weed in your crib. Talking about, I'd rather them smoke it here at home instead out there in the street. Yeah. Why? Not for nothing, but that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Why? And I ain't just saying that with my late 40s mind. I always thought that. I always thought that was stupid. I'll tell you why. Okay, I am of the belief that a lot of you parents are trying way too hard to be friends with your kids. That's like being buddy-buddy with your boss or your supervisor. It don't work. When you start to give them a critique of how they moving, this, that, and the third, it's not respected as much because you're all buddy-buddy with them. They see you as a friend. And parents who are friends with their children, not all, but a lot of those kids never leave home. Okay? And if they do, they end up coming back. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't come back, they end up needing mad help. Monetary help. And in each scenario, look, they never really get it together. Walk with me here. They never really get it together. You know what I'm saying? If like in a scenario where your adult child, well, your adult son or daughter now comes back home and you call yourself giving them mad time, like 5 years or whatever you can afford to do to get it together, figure out what you want to do, and then go out there and do their thing. Okay, very beautiful gesture, but you got to be honest with yourself. They never get right. And it doesn't make me feel good to say that about our adult sons and daughters, but they never get right. Even in a scenario when, your adult son or daughter don't live in the house, say out the city or state, they still don't get it together because you end up sending them mad money. And you and I both know all that money is not going on the light bill or the rent or whatever. Come on. Not everybody. Maybe I'm the only one. But once or twice, I've taken the money that was supposed to be for rent and got some sneakers. You know what I'm saying? That's dumb as hell. I learned a valuable lesson from that. That was stupid. Some people take the rent money and put it on other things. Weed maybe. Whatever. My disclaimer again, this is all from experience. Okay? And listen, I said they never get it together. I'm not saying ever. I'm saying things will never change till you let them go. My old man used to beat me over the head about what he thought was practical for my life. And that's not unusual. Parents, period, when they see their kid not necessarily moving in a way that's kind of smooth to them, to us, we tend to interject and give, what we think is practical for their lives. And I think back, I didn't like it when my old man did that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to walk my own path. But yet and all, I still found myself doing that with my adult sons. You know what I'm saying? Always was in my pocket for a hot little minute. You know what I'm saying? If any of my sons are watching this, I'm not putting you down. I'm not talking greasy. You walk with me too. I'm going somewhere. Right? But asking for help pretty often. So then I suggested the military. Hey, because, you don't have a trade. Let's say you do have a trade. When you have a trade and you go looking for a job, you can go look for something specific because you have a trade. You're looking for something specific. But when you don't have a trade, you're for the most part just looking for what's available. So I suggested the military for both, my two oldest sons at least. Well, actually all of them. They didn't do that. And I learned a valuable lesson from that. They got to walk their path. I need to let them go. And I've done that. You understand? Let your adult sons and daughters go. You know what I'm saying? What would they do if you wasn't there to help them? How would they move then? You understand? And whatever, you might want to ask them that. Should you find them frequently asking for help? What would they do if you weren't around? Or what would they do if you wasn't able to help them? You know what I'm saying? Because maybe you should let them go and let them do that. Let them do that thing. They might have to get their phone cut off for about a month or so till they get it right. Hey, you might have to ride dirty with no car insurance till you get right. You understand? Let them go and let them live, because life is meant to be lived. You know what I'm saying? You get it. Let them go. Jules, 4th installment.
Subscribe to this channel. Over and out.